I've been waiting for this moment for all my life, he says. And so have you. Don't lose it. It's so vital. Get it on. Let's do it!
And our next speaker, David Campbell-Bannerman, MEP.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be addressing the London Hustings. I started my UKIP career actually with a London branch, a West London branch, and I'm delighted too that the man I supported back in 2004 has agreed to be my deputy leader, and you'll know him. He was our mayoral candidate in 2004, Frank Maloney. Do you want to stand up, Frank? I'm delighted to have Frank on board. I do believe in a team approach. I believe in using everyone's strengths, including those that support other candidates. But ladies and gentlemen, can I just remind you why I'm here, first of all, or why we're all here. And it's because a year ago, Nigel had to step down, and of course Lord Pearson stepped down recently. And a year ago, Nigel said this. He said, "It's desperately hard to be leader over there and here. The job as leader of both is impossible. It's not possible for any human being, however talented or hard-working." Well, I agree 100% with that. And I do think Nigel is very talented. I think he's a brilliant orator. He's the best in business. He's great on the media. He shows enormous courage. And what I'm saying is I want a team approach, and I want to keep Nigel as the face of the party. But I believe the party leader in the UK should be focused on professionalising the party. That's what we need to do. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I believe firmly in policies, because without policies we're simply not relevant to the elections we need to win. We need to win local elections, assembly elections like the GLA, and Westminster, of course, because without councillors and GLA members, we won't get MPs, and without MPs, we won't get out of the EU. But I'm afraid I'm the only person who actually believes in policies in this election. Just last week, there was a survey by the Leicester University people who found that 99% of UKIP candidates, they'd ask you lots of questions, 99% believed in having a full range of policies. But I represent the 99%, I'm afraid Tim and Nigel are fighting it out for that 1%. Because they do not believe in policies. Deep down, they do not believe in policies. I believe they are fundamental. And you know, I'm going to fight on that basis. This election is about whether the choice that you have, basically, do we move forward to become a proper, fully fledged political party, Britain's fourth largest party, with a full set of policies? Or do we slide backwards to become an old single-issue group again? Because that's the choice, and I think that's the route to failure. And I think a team approach with a more professional UKIP is the route to success. And that's what I stand for in this election. And what I'm offering you is a combination of vision, experience, and teamwork. Vision, I believe that we should have 20 MPs elected under the alternative vote plus system. I know it all gets very complex, but AV plus would get us 20 MPs. I'm not just talking about it, I'm doing it. We've got amendments to the government's voting reform bill as we speak. We're doing a campaign as we speak. On Monday, I'm going out to give the Tories hell at their conference about AV plus. So I'm working on this, and that's a vision. We can have 30 elected lords as well if we play our cards right. And we could and should be the largest UK party in the European Parliament. That's what we should be about. And a positive vision of experts that are talking up what it's like to be out of the EU. A positive, independent Britain. Not just to carp on or attack the EU, we're talking about how it could be better being out of the EU. And that's a positive vision. But we must be professional to deliver that vision. My experience, ladies and gentlemen, I would offer, I've been your party chairman, I know a lot of you, I've been right around the UK, I've been your deputy leader, I've been your head of policy, I wrote the manifesto and the mini manifesto for the election, and a lot of the local ones and the London ones, the assembly ones. I've done that for you. I've campaigned in 4 general elections. We achieved in South Suffolk, I'm glad to see the chairman is here, 50% increase in South Suffolk at the last election. Done a lot of campaigning. I won as a local councillor, and I will support local councillors because they are the building block of every parliamentary seat, Westminster seat. Campaigning, media, well, I've done a lot of media. It's not just Nigel, he's great on the media, but it's not just Nigel. We need more faces on the media. We need to spread this out. Otherwise we look like a single issue group. So I do have that experience. And the teamwork I can offer you. I've got a lot of people who volunteer to help us, and mostly volunteers. Frank already has got a new head of fundraising who's been working on the commercial side for a Premier football club. We're off and running on this teamwork. I have a head of training already in mind. I have the gentleman here, Owen Bromley, from Bromley, chairman of Bromley. He's going to help on the hedge fund side. So we're building a team already, and I believe in teamwork. But finally, ladies and gentlemen, I just say to you again, the choice is between moving forward to be the rightful party, the 4th largest party in the UK, by being more professional and believing in policies, or going backwards. Okay, let's not go backwards. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have an objection. We are the 3rd largest party, Mr. Chairman. We have a coalition on it. We're not 4th.
Thank you. And next speaker, Professor Tim Condon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure I'm very good at Frank Sinatra act, but I'll do my best. Why do I want to lead you? For 2 main reasons.
Here.
Yeah. There we go.
Is that all right? Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. As I said, I'm not very the Frank Sinatra act. Why do I want to lead the United Kingdom Independence Party? There are 2 main reasons. The first reason is that our country has been stolen from us. The second reason is I want to try to do my bit to get it back. The theft of Britain has been a gradual process over 40 years. A corrupt, inadequate political class has surrendered competencies to the European Union, to bureaucracy. The bureaucracy in foreign lands, Brussels, Strasbourg, Frankfurt to some extent. Government by a foreign bureaucracy, bureaucratic government by is likely to be bad government. And that's the way it's turning out. Just this morning, I saw this coming from home in the paper. The results of the Alternative Investment Fund Management Directive. Hedge funds moved abroad, they pay less tax. £500 billion less tax. Ladies and gentlemen, £500 billion less for schools, hospitals and so on in our country. That's just a tiny fraction of damage that the European Union is doing to us and our society. We must get our country back. And that's why I want to lead the United Kingdom Independence Party. It's going to be a huge job. Let me say 1 or 2 things about this job. The first thing is that it's going to require fundraising, research, writing pamphlets, sending off letters to the branch chairman, distributing this to journalists. Is this a full-time job, ladies and gentlemen? No, it isn't. It's more than a full-time job. And by the way, we have the authority of Nigel Farage for that. Because as David Campbell pointed out, Nigel complained when he stood down about a year ago that it was required a superhuman effort to do these 2 jobs, both working at leading the group in Brussels and also doing a job in the UK. So it is a very big job, and that's the first thing to say about it. The second thing is that it must be done in this country. In my opinion, we need an effective campaigning London office. There is a London office, but not really a campaigning office. And that's what I want to set up with Gerard Batten, who's going to be my deputy leader. Another point I want to make. I don't want to be an MEP.